All righty. Hello, hello, and welcome to Gen X Memories. And I'm glad to have you here tonight with me, or this morning, this afternoon. Chalet in the house. Chalet in the house. Hey, hey, hey. Here's a cat. Going bye bye. Say bye bye. Bye bye. That's kitty kitty. Andy popped in earlier, a couple hours ago when I scheduled the live. Uh, I hope he pops in again. That's why we have part 2 on the movies. Uh, yeah. So hopefully Lemoyne and Andy can join. Mom said she might be. Oh, Momsy in the house. Christine in the house. You woke up. You're here. Welcome, welcome, Chalet and Christine, otherwise known as Mumsy. All righty. So you can see I've changed things up a little bit. I moved my desk. Actually, my desk was narrow, and so the screen was really close to me, and so it was kind of hurting my eyes and stuff. And to be able to do work, because it's not a monitor; it's a TV. I don't know how much. Oh, you know what? I've got a. So I'll tell you. 28 by. Wait. I said 28. Was that in? Yeah, that was inches. Yeah. Okay. It's 28 inches wide and whatever high. So now I've rearranged things where I have like a little table that's behind my desk so that the TV can be on that table and be back further away. I was experimenting a little bit. If you hear that background music, let me know if it's irritating. I'll turn it off. But I saw that I could do that, so I thought, oh, let's try it. Let's try putting a little bit of background music in there, and see what it's like. There's different options. I chose the rock because we're Gen X. Looks nice. Thank you. Thank you. I added, there's Odie. There's Bambi. You can see my wooden shoes right there. Well, they're not made of wood. They're slippers. They're fuzzy slippers that are shaped like wooden shoes from Amsterdam. So, got my hair cut. This is just dry. I didn't style it at all. This is just wash and dry. Just wash and let it air dry. So are we ready to talk about some more movies? I mean, of course, we touched on some last week. I think now that the intro is kind of done, I could probably turn off the music. There we go. And okay, so let me share my screen. So we have Google. We have some movies in search. Let's see how it looks. Comments. Here we go. So to get us started, I just typed in 80s movies is what came up. So Blue Lagoon. Who remembers Blue Lagoon? I remember Blue Lagoon. That's one of my stories with, what's the guy's name? Who's in it? Christopher something, right? Let me see. Blue Lagoon. Christopher Atkins. Okay. So I was at the American Film Market. Me, you're ready. Oh, Dirty Harry, Dirty Dancing. Okay. So let me tell my Christopher Atkins story. So I was at the American Film Market, and he was there. was a press conference. Press conference finished, and we were both like in the, like where there's like cocktail table kind of thing set up, and so we're both just chatting, waiting for our next thing that we got to do, whatever. And I said, you know, it's really interesting. I had this really interesting thought, and so, you know, I look at you, and you look older, not old, older, but that makes me realize that I look older too. You know, we were both laughing about it. Loved it. Okay, dirty dancing we covered last time. So, but Dirty Harry, which was actually 1971. But we cut 71. Can you imagine? That was 1971, right? Smack dab at the beginning. You know, images. We did mention this one a little bit last week as well, so we won't go into it. But you know, you guys know that my favorite one of the favorite reasons I love this is because in the opening shots, there it's like an overview of San Francisco, and there's no Transamerica building, and I love the Transamerica building. That's like pyramid building, and so it was like made before that skyscraper. And now you can't even see the skyscraper because there's so many other skyscrapers. You can't, I mean, it's not even part of the skyline anymore. That's what you're saying. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So I will put Dirty Dancing here just to give it a look. Let me take off my caps. So there we go. Dirty Dancing. We talked about it last time. So let me go back. E.T., you know, that was a pretty big deal. E.T. Do you realize that E.T. was an accidental marketing genius thing with the Reese's Pieces? Because the Reese's Pieces sales just went through the roof after, you know, Drew Barrymore was eating them or putting them, making a trail with them or something, right, for E.T. to follow. And so then product placement became a much bigger deal. You know, I mean, there was always product placement, but I mean, it became a really big thing after that Reese's Pieces with E.T. What else you guys saying? Come on. Give me your ideas. What movie do you want me to look up? We've got Top Gun. We mentioned that. I did see the latest, like, kind of remake Top Gun. It wasn't a remake, but it was kind of like a sequel, I guess. And I actually thought it was a well-done movie. Not bad. Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. The Goonies. That was one of Spielberg's movies, I think. A lot of bad Hollywood bad stuff happened to those kids in that movie, as we've talked about before. But at the time, it was a pretty big family adventure film. Outsiders. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That was huge. What else we got? We mentioned Urban Cowboy last time. Lost Boys, Still Magnolias. We mentioned that last week. 16 Candles. We talked all about John Hughes and the Breakfast Club. Airplane. That was pretty big comedy. Staying Alive. Not as good as Saturday Night Fever. That was huge. What else should I say? Nothing yet. Come on. Weird Science. That was nice. That one, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. That was awesome. And then you had Brendan Fraser in the Caveman one, kind of Encino Man. That was good. Oh, When Harry Met Sally, 1989. So, of course, that was pretty big. I mean, I would say since Annie Hall, there hadn't been a film of, I mean, because it, okay, yeah, romantic comedy, but not slapstick comedy, you know, a romance film. I think like chick flicks kind of, the term chick flick probably started around When Harry Met Sally and the ones with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, Sleepless in Seattle, oh, Ghostbusters. That was huge. And everybody's talking, slime, the whole slime thing, and who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. You know, The Killing Fields, Cambodia. That came out in 1984. You loved it. Okay, I'm going through these like this. So when you're typing, you're gonna have to put a clue in there about which one you're talking about. When Harry Met Sally, you love that one. Ghostbusters. Indiana Jones. That was pretty huge. Empire of the Sun, drama. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Fame. 1980. See, that was like really big when I was in high school. I mean, dressing like, so you had a lot of that Dirty Dancing, Flashdance, Fame, all bringing that kind of jazzercise type exercise wear, dancing wear. Rain Man, that was huge. Xanadu. I mean, I love Olivia Newton-John, but I don't think the movie really made a big impact. Princess Bride, still like a cult following on Princess Bride. Arthur, remember Arthur? Oh, that was a good movie. Indiana Jones was huge. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Yeah. 3 O'Clock High. I don't remember that at all. Three Amigos. I remember that. Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah, he was kind of still relevant back then. James Bond, For Your Eyes Only. I couldn't stand James Bond. Mr. Mom. And Kramer versus Kramer. There were a lot of like family-ish and ordinary people. Again, a lot, dealing with like families and divorce and things and role things. Yeah. What else we got in here? The Woman in Red, Gene Wilder was still a hit. Platoon. You had a lot of Vietnam War movies in the 80s. Oh, Mad Max. Yeah, Mel Gibson came on the scene in the 80s. Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. That's part of culture now. There was a movie with Liza Minnelli. I think it was called Stepping Out. You loved it. Let's check it out. Oops. ST. Stepping Out. Liza Minnelli. There it is. Stepping Out, 1991. That's good enough. Good enough. Images. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. So see, you had that whole music, dancing, Broadway-ish stuff going on. Yeah. Liza Minnelli was an amazing performer. I would say performer. Of course, anyone who doesn't know, her mother was Judy Garland. And I saw a thing about Judy Garland singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, this guy that like analyzes voice stuff and everything. And he said the way she sang that and the way she hit those notes, and if there was like some vibrato or some slide or different things that you do with your voice, that she was just perfect. There was nothing better that could have been done with her singing that. And Liza Minnelli also, like I said, amazing performer. Iowans love it. It's still there. Oh, the Field of Dreams is still there. Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. She's fabulous. Yeah. Amazing, amazing. All right, so what else have we got in our, whoops, let's see, we did that, we did that, did that, did that, that. Field of Dreams, Starman, another James. Yeah, see, there were quite a few James Bond. Places in the Heart with Sally Field. That was a drama. That really scared. There's a tornado scene in that and scared the heck out of me. I mean, I was like in it because it just brought back, like, trigger warning, a Yentl. I love Gentle. Papa, can you hear me? Oh my gosh. I even have like the songbook for Yentl, like with the music, all the sheet music in a book. Of course, Barbra Streisand, another amazing performer. They act, they dance, they sing, the whole 9 yards. Of course, now we even have the Streisand effect. Yeah, Papa, can you hear me? Oh, everything, every. Oh. If you guys haven't seen Yentl, if you're watching this and you haven't seen Yentl, it's definitely worth seeing. Yeah, mom always loved Barbra Streisand. I think didn't one year for Christmas I got you a CD of Barbra Streisand singing Christmas carols or something. I grew up growing up Gen X. We had her and Ryan O'Neal were in like lots of funny movies. Barbra Streisand movies. The Way We Were. No. What's Up, Doc? There you go. What's Up, Doc? Funny Lady. Funny Girl. That was good. Prince of Tides. That was totally dramatic. Guilt Trip. Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. Da 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 da. Yeah, that was good. Oh, let's see. The Owl and the Pussycat. That was more. Oh, Star is Born. Yeah. For Pete's Sake. On a Clear Day You Can See Forever. Nuts. Star is Born, though. That love that. The Mirror Has Two Faces. Very dramatic. Meet the Fockers. She plays one of the moms. Yeah. Nice for her to do it. Anything else interesting? No. You forget she made so many. Exactly. Oh, for Pete's sake. What's up, Doc? Yeah. See, you're on it. You're on it, Chalet. I need to be able to see the comments while I'm like scrolling on the, because when I come over to the tab so that I can like move around on it. What else is there here? Parenthood. Steve Martin. Didn't you say you don't like Steve Martin? White Knights. You remember that with Mikhail Baryshnikov? I totally went on a Mikhail Baryshnikov kick for a while, and he was like going on like his last tour before retiring, and he was going to be in Sacramento, performing in Sacramento on this tour, and I asked my mom, you probably, I don't know if you remember this at all, but you were like, I asked you to babysit Jasmine, and maybe Danny too. I'm sorry, like James, but I don't think I had 3 kids yet. Maybe I had 2, but definitely Jasmine. I asked you to babysit so that Rick and I could go to this thing, because then there was also a like a cocktail hour thing, meet and greet thing after the performance that the ticket would have included. And she's like, well, when I was young, I had to raise you, and I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do, and just shamed me into not going. And I have always regretted it. I have always regretted it, that I didn't find another way or something, or, that I backed down, because it was like a once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to see Mikhail Baryshnikov. The Jerk. Oh, so you do like some Steve Martin. Okay. I don't know who was saying they don't like Steve Martin. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know. It probably wasn't even a big deal for you. You probably didn't even realize it. And I mean, and there was some truth in what you were saying, which is why the guilt worked. But I have that is like one of my regrets, that I didn't get to see Mikhail Baryshnikov. But oh well. Is he even still alive? I'll check. Mikhail Baryshnikov. He's 75 years old. He's younger than you, Mom. His birthday's coming up. He's going to be 76. Oh, I didn't realize that. Well, good. He's still kicking. Yeah, he better still be kicking, but he's not like that. He's teaching or something. I mean, now he's from Latvia. We always just thought of him as Russian because USSR. He's actually from Latvia. I was just wondering if it said what the name of the American Conservatory Theater or something. Oh, but now, so see, he's founded the Baryshnikov Arts and .org, BaryshnikovArts.org. He's the founder and artistic director. So that's what he's doing now. Oh, Mumsy's the one who said she doesn't like Steve Martin. Okay. There was a good one. It was House Sitter with tipping into the 90s. That's all right. With Goldie Hawn. And this was really funny because she just pops into town and somehow overhears people. I don't know, somehow she finds out the house is like empty, that he's not living in the house. And so in the town, in the general store, somebody puts their groceries on a tab, or she goes to buy a couple of things, and then she's, oh, well, would you like us to just put it on the tab? And she's like, oh, yeah, let me. And so she starts getting everything, right? So she's living off of his credit in his house, and then he comes back for the weekend or something and finds her having taken over, and it's just really funny. And that, I think, was around the same time as Bird on a Wire, which was Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn, which was also super funny and hilarious, where he's in a witness protection program, but he was working as a mechanic, and people found out, like the gangsters, the criminals found out, and because they went there to get their car worked on or whatever, and then they saw him, and so then they're chasing him, and somehow he gets hooked up with Goldie Hawn in the process, and they're on the run from these criminals. Okay, no new comments. So let's go back. What else we got here? I'm hearing that Sally, Honky Tonk Man, Goonies, The Color Purple, 1985. Wow. So that was, Oprah Winfrey doing a movie. It says that Steven Spielberg produced it, I guess. Doesn't surprise me. Scarface, 1983. I never saw it when it came out, but then again, like when I was in college and which was in my 30s, right? And I took film appreciation class, and so like I watched it. Either that or it was like on cable or something, and so I watched it. I saw it, And I just thought, oh my God, this is so cheesy and so corny. And then I thought, wait a minute, no, everybody else parodies Scarface. But when Scarface first came out, it was original. The the Miami cocaine criminal scene, was like a new thing that hadn't been done before. Now it seems cheesy, but in the day it wasn't. The Shining. I to this day, I mean, I've seen clips, but I've never seen the whole thing. Uncle Buck. Or The Last Temptation of Christ. That, that was controversial. I never saw that because it was very much into church at the time, and so there was no way. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't go pick it. Amadeus was good. Amadeus, 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 Amadeus. Blade Runner, classic. Out of Africa. I had to watch that later, and it was really nice. I enjoyed the movie, but I didn't see it at the time. Untouchables. There's, here a lot of not only did you have movies like Platoon and Full Metal Jacket and not Armageddon. What was that? Apocalypse Now, so like that. But you had comedies, Stripes, War Games, classic. Born on the 4th of July, also dealing with veterans. Heartbreak Ridge, Casualties of War. Filter by subgenre. We could do thriller, teen, adventure, fantasy, family, rom-com, animation. You guys saying? Stripes, you loved it as a kid. Yeah, lots of war movies. Yeah. Kind of like after World War II, there were like lots of Battle of Iwo Jima. I always want to say Bora, 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 but it's Tora, 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 right? Always on, I kind of grew up with those World War II movies because like on December 7th, which was like Victory Day, right? And right, or is December 7th when they bombed Pearl Harbor? Then they'd always play the movies on different, whether it's Veterans Day or the day they bombed Pearl Harbor or Victory Day, let me see one. Okay, yeah, December 7th was the attack on Pearl Harbor. Grease. Yeah, Stripes. Well, of course you meant you loved the movie Stripes as a kid, not war itself. I didn't do that. Yeah, and what were you just saying, Mom? Grease. Yeah, here we go. Well, that's Grease too. Where's Grease? Oh, Coal Miner's Daughter. That was really nice, like the story of Loretta Lynn. Purple Rain with Prince. Footloose. Where's Grease? Well, there's Grease too, but yeah, Grease. When Grease came out, that, yeah, we're all singing the songs, we're all acting out parts. Pee-wee's Big Adventure was in '85. Wow. I never saw Moonstruck when it came out, but then I saw it later and I was like, wow, this was like a really nice movie. Terms of Endearment, super tearjerker. Raging Bull. I don't think I've even seen that today yet. Or Taxi Driver. That was also with but I know that You Talking to Me. I mean, I've seen clips, but I've never seen the whole movie of Taxi Driver. Yeah, Taxi Driver. Which guy's saying? Silly. Well, Stripes is silly, yeah. Nice. Mystic Pizza. That's like a Brat Pack movie. It's good. Action movies. Terminator. Was I'll Be Back in Terminator? Didn't that come from Terminator? I'll be back. You know, I mean, classic. And Lethal Weapon. I loved all 3 Lethal Weapon movies. Absolutely loved them. Just talking the other day about Joe Pesci. And movies. My Cousin Vinny. Oh my gosh, was that hilarious? It was 92. Okay, 92. My Cousin Vinny. And that makes me think about, again, it was Steve Martin, but My Blue Heaven. (1990), My Blue Heaven. And so he's in, the character is so hilarious. He's with Rick Moranis, and Rick Moranis is like the FBI guy that's like supposed to like watch over Steve Martin's character, who's in the witness protection program. But the town they put him in has all the other, everybody in this town is in the witness protection program. So they start, it's like, well, we have you and you and you and you. Let's start the old criminal things back up again, you know? And so they start, you know, but it's just, his character is just so hilarious. Pesci, 80s movies. Stripes, the movie, is not a war. Well, no, it's not. It's just military. I mean, it's boot camp, right? I remember. Military comedy starring Bill Murray and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Two men who struggled with finding success in life decide to join the army, but end up becoming misfits. Before they complete their training, they are sent off on a crucial mission that they bungle. So yeah, before they complete their training, it's like they're in boot camp. Yeah, I remember it. It was good. It was a good movie. Oh, I see what you're saying. Stripes, you were trying all your comments. Stripes not war. Stripes is not about war. Stripes the movie is not a war movie. Marianne, listen to me. You're right. It's not a war movie. It's just boot camp. That's all I meant. Please don't shoot me. How many bullets you got left? Musicals. What else do they have in musicals? La Bamba, Hairspray, The Blues Brothers. There's a classic. Annie, the sun will come out tomorrow. Da, 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 da. Oh, American Tail with Feifel. Monty Python. Yeah, Monty Python. Purple dancers. Blah, blah, blah. What else we got? Epics. Dune, which they're remaking Dune. Excalibur. Passage to India. That was like big in the drama stuff. The Bounty. Yeah, The Bounty with Anthony Hopkins and Mel Gibson. My friends at the time when I was, you know, like when I had Jasmine and Jane, you know, the young mother age, then my friends were also young mothers, right? Because we met from church and stuff. And so we would have like, we'd go over to, we'd take turns at each other's house, hosting everybody to watch a movie. And like, we watched every Mel Gibson movie. because we all like Mel Gibson. Comedies. Caddyshack, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. These are classics. The Weekend at Bernie's. A Christmas Story came out. Risky Business. Who can forget him dancing around in his underwear? Scrooged, of course. Showed that to my English tutoring class. Stand By Me, tearjerker. You see it once, you don't need to see it again. Bull Durham, Cannonball Run, 1981. That feels more like a 70s movie. Right there on it. Stir Crazy, Gene Wilder again, Richard Pryor. Oh, Overboard. Overboard was great. You know, the lady. Well, they're both Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. They're both. Well, no, they're not married, but or did they finally get married? But they're like the longest couple in Hollywood. No more comments? No more comments? Come on, come on. Popular movies. Oh, Beetlejuice, that's classic. Ghostbusters, covered most of Poltergeist. If we're talking about, what about Halloween, Friday the 13th, Poltergeist, Amityville Horror? Like, there was a lot of horror movies that came out, you know, that now you've had lots of stuff, but Police Academy, musicals, Oscar-winning movies. I think we already went through that one. Sci-fi movies. All right, we didn't go through that yet. What do we got? Short Circuit was big. They Live came out. There's a lot of talk of They Live now because there's like so much talk about propaganda and people being blind to what's happening around them. And so clips and screenshots of They Live where the guy puts on the glasses and then he could see reality, so he could see the reality. That's popular. Highlander, Twilight Zone, the movie. 2010? No, that's like a sequel or something. The Year We Make Contact. That's not the original. Yeah. But because 2001. 2001 Space Odyssey being in the 70s, that was groundbreaking. Never married to each other. I think they've been together like 40 plus years. Yeah, we can look it up. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Relationship timeline. They've been together since 1983, but have never married. 40 years. There you go. Well, as of December 7th, 2023, last month, they've been together for 40 years. They first met in 1966 on a movie set. And then they reconnected 17 years later when they starred in Swing Shift. 40 years. There you go. Let's go back. More movie subgenres. Where were we? Sci-fi. War games. Superman. Superman with Christopher Reeves was a big deal. Back to the Future. Oh my gosh. Is there anything more Gen X Then Back to the Future. Wow, glad we hit that. Gremlins. A lot of people, I wasn't interested in Gremlins, but a lot of people of our generation were. What are you guys saying? Okay. Love movies. All right. Endless Love with Brooke Shields. Wow, didn't care about that. There's Flashdance. Overboard. Moonstruck. Oh, Tootsie. Tootsie was big. Tootsie was big with Dustin Hoffman. Coming to America was a popular movie, but Tootsie was like big. Streets of Fire with Eddie from Eddie and Michael Pare, who played Eddie in Eddie and the Cruisers, which I absolutely love. But Streets of Fire with Diane Lane, that was a pretty big movie too. Naked Gun, Scrooged, Yentl, Murphy's Romance. Wasn't that Sally Field and James Garner? Always. Oh, Always was the one about the pilot. That was a good movie. Good drama. See what you guys are saying. You love Tootsie, yeah. Your son has a DeLorean? You gotta be kidding me. When I was growing up, there was in the Bay Area, our apartment complex went around a fire department, like the fire station that was on a corner. So on one side of the street, the apartment complex was on one side, and then on the other side, on the other street. So the apartments went around this fire station that was on the corner. And one of the firemen had a DeLorean. Yeah, they stopped making it. Everyone stops and wants pictures, for sure. For sure. Surprised there's not someone here in Cambodia that would be driving a DeLorean. They've got Maseratis and Ferraris and Lamborghinis. And I mean, there are so many. I mean, I'd never even heard of a McLaren until here in Cambodia. And there's probably more McLarens in Cambodia than in any other, except for maybe Germany. I would love to know the sales of McLaren, whatever, and like how many are in the U.S. and how many are in France and how many are in England and how many are in India and whatever, and then how many are in Cambodia. I mean, because there's a lot of them in Cambodia, for sure. It's crazy. What do we got in action? Nothing new. Sudden impact. So the Dirty Harry series continued with like 3 or 4 other movies. But of course Rambo. Oh my gosh, Rambo. So you had all these Vietnam War movies, but then you had Rambo. And then what was the one that had the thing you couldn't see? That monster, was that Rambo? No, not Terminator. There was something that there was like an alien that was in the jungle. But so Sylvester Stallone did a lot. Sylvester Stallone, Van Claude, John Van Claude. Gosh, what's his name? Oh wow! Look at all this conversation you guys had without me. Yes, Christine. He lets them get in it. My son makes short films. I did not know that. Maybe I did. I don't know. I didn't remember that. Wow, that's really nice of him. Must give joy. Yes, people love it, Christine. That's so nice about the DeLorean. I was going to tell you that Jean Van Damme. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Is that his name? Rambo was in a class of his own. Yeah. Oh, he had the invisible monster. Okay. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Okay, so we all know who he is, right? And so, again, I'm at the American Film Market, but I have my daughter with me, and she's like 17, 18, something like this. And so we're in the elevator. We get in the elevator. It's pretty crowded. And then the last two people that get in is Jean-Claude Van Damme and his friend, the person he's with, right? And then the doors close. And so everybody's like facing the doors, right? As you do in an elevator. And they're right in front of us. So their backsides are to our face, right? And he's talking to his friend, like he's Belgian. So like, if you're Belgian, don't you still speak French? Does Belgium have its own language? I'm not sure. Anyway, he's talking to his friend in a foreign language, probably French. We don't know what he's saying. The doors open. They get off. Maybe a couple other people get off. Maybe some other people get in. The doors close. We start going up because we were going to another level. And my daughter screams, I just squeezed Jean-Claude Van Damme's butt. And I'm like, what? No. He didn't let on at all that she had done it. But I'm thinking he's probably saying in French, the girl behind me is squeezing my butt. You know. Did you know that story, Mumsy? Let's see. Oh my gosh. Second DeLorean. How do you even find a second DeLorean? The first one got crashed into. So years later, he found another one, flew to Chicago to get it. Wow. Mumsy says that's cool. He didn't tell his wife until he was back with it. He was determined to have nothing stop him. Good for him. Well, I'm surprised that it's just been the three of us again this week, even though Andy had popped in, early on. New comments. Wait. Oh, you never heard it. Yeah, that happened. Yep, that happened. You can call her on her. When the next time she comes over for a holiday, Mom, then you can say, hey, you know what? Your mom told this story. Is that true? And see what she says. Because yeah, that's what happened. Okay, so more movies. What do we got? There we go. This musicals, Oscar-winning sci-fi action thrillers. Let's look at thrillers. License to Kill. Oh, the guy that played James Bond that nobody liked. Oh, these are not non-memorable. American Gigolo kind of, I didn't see it, but that kind of like was talked about. The Untouchables. James Wood. Oh, At Close Range with Sean Penn and Madonna. And I think that's when they kind of got together and then they got married after that. So for us Gen Xers, like At Close Range with Christopher Walken and Sean Penn and wait, I take that back. Madonna wasn't in it, but she sang the song. So the music video, because all us Gen Xers were watching MTV. And so the music video of Madonna singing the theme song had all the clips from the movie. So that's why we associate Madonna with the movie. But she didn't act in the movie. I don't think she really acted. Well, she did that one. What's the one where the other girl kind of wants to be like her? It's a personal ad. Suddenly Seeking Susan or something like that. That was right at the beginning. But then when she did Evita, that was like a really strong acting thing for her. What else we got in thriller? Why are these thrillers? Oh, I guess they're like action without the action, right? So they're thrillers. 48 Hours, Witness. What about what's the one with Misery? Was that not until the 90s? Wouldn't that have been in Fatal Attraction? Nothing was like Fatal Attraction until that was groundbreaking. Beverly Hills Cop, more James Bond, Midnight Run, and that's it. So when was Misery? No, 1990. Okay, just missed the 80s. Because that was pretty groundbreaking as well. I don't know. I think it's the part where she takes the sledgehammer and breaks his legs that we just don't. That she would never admit it. I don't know. I think she'd brag about it, Mom. I think you'll find her bragging about it, not trying to hide it. So horror movies. So what do we got in horror movies? Where is it? Ghostbusters, Christine. Oh, well, if we jump back to the 70s, you got Carrie as well. I mean, I think that was very influential for us as Gen Xers. Poltergeist. I don't think I ever actually saw Poltergeist, but I know of it. Friday the 13th, American Werewolf in London, and Creepshow, The Fog, The Blob, The Thing, Pet Sematary, Ghostbusters we mentioned. Jaws Revenge, which wasn't anything like Jaws. So Jaws was groundbreaking in the 70s. Yeah. And nobody it didn't keep me out of the water. I still went body surfing and stuff. But there was certainly a lot of interest in sharks and maybe having a shark's tooth on a necklace or something because of it. They did a Psycho 2 teen movie. So what are you guys saying? Those are Clint Eastwood movies. Which ones are Clint Eastwood movies? The Dirty Harry movies? I don't know. I missed something. Anything in here in teen movies that we didn't cover already? I mean, Teen Wolf, because by then he had already done, Michael J. Fox, I think, had already done Back to the Future. Oh, the cats are making noise. We already talked about all the John Hughes movies last week. There's Back to the Future. When was it? Oh, 80. They both came out the same year. Okay. In 85. Fame, Dirty Dancing. Okay. All right. So looks like we've kind of like covered most of everything that's here. When I think of Caddyshack, I think of, and all the kind of like the Saturday Night Live crew of Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase and stuff. And they were doing all these comedies. And then the next generation of the comedies, so you had Caddyshack, you had Animal House, Toga, 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 you had the Blues Brothers, you had the National Lampoon Vacations and stuff. But then Adam Sandler kind of filled that role of those like raunchy slapstick comedies. Then in the 90s, in the 2000s, whenever, so what was the golf one that Adam Sandler did. Let me just put in Adam Sandler. Movies. Happy Gilmore. So when was Happy Gilmore? 96. And that was kind of when he started. So 96 through the 2000s, you know, he kind of led that genre, I would say. Misty, play Misty for me. All right. Play Misty for me. 1971. See, we were little babies back then. But I don't know, somebody in that movie, it ended up being his wife, right? Isn't that who Kimber's mother is? Clint Eastwood. Former mayor of Carmel by the Sea. He's 93. Can you believe it? He was born in 1930. He's 93. His children. There's Kimber. Kimber's my friend. And so who's her mom? Siblings. I want to know who's her mom. See, makeup artist. Roxanne Tunis. So was she in that? Was she in Play Misty for me? I don't know why I'm... I don't know. I don't know why I associate. Maybe he met her at the same time. Maybe she wasn't in the movie, but it was in the same time. Maybe that's why. Yeah, she just died last year. She's on IMDb, so what is she? Oh, just one thing. Wait. Cheers, Blue, Every Which Way But Loose. That was funny. Yeah. Oh, well, Every Which Way But Loose had him in it, had Clint Eastwood in it. Clint Eastwood and the orangutan. So maybe they met during that. Anyway, doesn't matter. No, it's said mistress. I just didn't read that out loud, but yeah, it did say that. But it was funny because when, if you guys remember the Gemini Manor show, the travel vlog that I did about Gemini Manor. Oh, no problem, Chalet. And there was some makeup, and somehow I had like moved the picture instead of copied the picture, so the picture wasn't there. But when she was doing makeup, I asked her and my friend Danielle, the two of them, if they could both come and do makeup for this little production. You know, it doesn't pay a lot. You know, it pays a little bit if you help out. And they both said yes. And she was putting the makeup on, and the craft service was also right there in that area in the kitchen. And I don't know, something about the angle. She turned her head just right. She smiled and stuff or something. And it's just like, boom. It's like I could totally see Clint Eastwood in her face. Yeah. But it's 10 o'clock. So it's been an hour. That's good. I hope everybody's enjoyed just kind of remembering some of these movies from the 80s and 70s and a little bit of the 90s, but movies that we as Gen Xers really enjoyed and either enjoyed or maybe they had influence. So I think that'll be it for today. So I just want to say thank you for joining me I hope you subscribe and like. Don't forget to do that because it really helps. And but most importantly, I hope you feel my love for you because it transcends time and space. So wherever you are and whenever you are watching this, I hope you feel my love for you because I do. Good memories. Didn't realize some of those movies were so old. I know. Isn't it crazy when you get old enough that you can remember decades? And that's Silky. Silky Dilky Bilky Wilky. Like Silky. Silky Dilky Bilky Wilky. Better not be trying to go potty. Silky. There we go. Hey Silky. Come here, Silky. Hey. So Silky isn't like completely white. She's a little bit sandy in spots, which is why I called her Silky because she does feel silky, but she's more like a seal color. And if you know Irish mythology, a selkie is a seal. It's like a mermaid, but instead of a fish, it's a woman that turns into a. But she's really kind of feral. Yeah, can't do too much with her. But see, she's kind of got a little bit of ring around her tail. She's mostly white, but it's kind of a dirty white. Silky. Yeah, go on. Have to be careful with her because she is, like I said, she's. I mean, she was born in the family. She was born by Mama Katie. Love you too, Chalet. Hugs, Mumsy. And I hope you all have a great day. Meow, meow. Exactly. They're here. They're loving you too. She's turning around. Here she is laying down. Okay. All righty. And so with that, tomorrow we'll do a travel vlog to somewhere. Bye-bye.